it's Julia. I wanted just to hop on quick and just thank everybody so much for the great comments that I received on my last video. I did a little Whimsical Girl eyeglass case, and I offered a PDF that I had in my Etsy shop, and so many of you purchased it, and it just warmed my heart, and just thank you so much. It just really helps just pay for some of the expenses that I have on my YouTube channel. So again, thank you. And today I'm going to be using that same PDF in a different project. And so if any of you want it and didn't get it, I'll have it linked down below. But also know that you don't have to use this PDF for this project. In fact, I do show just another option for it. So I hope you enjoy this. Again, thank you so much for everybody who commented and shared that video. It has really helped just grow my audience. And so I just really appreciate you all so much. So let's get started on this week's project. This is this week's project. I've been making notebook covers made out of fabric and then adding either my whimsical girl faces or a collage to them. Now the faces I printed off on fabric, and I'm going to show you how I print on fabric. And I did not do any stitching on the faces. This week I just added pen marks and a little bit of paint to give it some color. And then a lot of the little booklets, I just added fabric collages and just did a lot of just fun little designs on them. Inside the little notebooks are a composition book, and this is the junior size composition books, which are 5 by 7. I'll link down below an Amazon link for these, but you can also pick them up at Walmart and different office supply companies. It's a really great size. They fit really easily into backpacks and purses, and they just are nice in your hand. A little bit more about the little notebook cover itself. It does have a little pockets inside that the book easily slides into, and you can easily take it out and add a new one if you need to. Now, like I said, this is a 5 by 7, but you can make it fit whatever notebook that you have. Each also has a pen loop, which is just a piece of elastic, and I did stick a little ribbon in for a bookmark. These make wonderful little gifts, but also craft show ideas. In this video, I'm first going to show you how I print on fabric, and then we're going to go into the actual construction of the little notebook. I've cut my piece of fabric to 8.5 by 11, which is the US standard copy paper that's to run through your printer. I'm using an Ossenberg cloth. I don't know if you can see it, but I love this fabric because it has a linen look to it, little slubs in it, and it's just real interesting. And it's about the same weight as a muslin. Because the fabrics are floppy and soft, you do need to add a paper to them or something to make them easier to run through your printer. A lot of people use the freezer paper for this. So you basically cut the freezer paper to the same size, 8.5 by 11, and then you iron it using the waxy side down. And then you can run it through your printer that way. I like to use my labels that I have from my Etsy shop. I always have these labels on hand, and like the freezer paper, you can reuse these labels over and over again with fabric. I'll just peel them off and then I'll just stick them back on this paper. And these are the exact size I already need, and so it's just really easy. I just stick them right on and press them down. I'm going to go to my printer now and I'm going to print the Whimsical Girl PDF, and I'm going to be using the one with the eyes this time, not the sunglasses. Some of the supplies that I use for my little notebook, I use this Pellox 72F, which is a fusible on both sides. This is a very sturdy stabilizer, and it really helps just with the whole structure of the little booklet. To cut my Peltex, I add a 1/2 inch to the length or to the height of my book. So this was 7 inches. So I'm going to cut it to be 7.5 inches this way. And then for the length, or what goes around the booklet, because this is 5 inches this way, you take that times 2, which is 10, and then you add an inch. So this is 11 inches this way and 7.5 inches this way. I always round my corners. It's just easier to, when I turn it, to have the corners rounded. For the outside of the fabric, you want to pick just a print. Any print will work to add your work on. I really like just interesting background type fabrics. You cut that so you have about approximately a 1/2 inch all the way around. So 1/2 inch larger than the Peltex. You also want to have a lining fabric, and I am just using a canvas, just a plain colored fabric. You don't really see a lot of that, I'll show you. You just see, you know, just a little bit of that on the inside. You also need a piece for your pockets, and I measure that by just laying my outer fabric down. You're going to want the same height, and then I usually add about 3 inches. You're also going to need elastic if you want to do a little pen holder, and this elastic is 3/4 of an inch wide, and it's a gray color. I believe it's just a waistband elastic, or maybe a lingerie elastic. It's quite soft. And then ribbon for the bookmark if you want to have a bookmark. And I found this really cute ribbon in my stash. It has little bird cages with little birds in it, and I think I'm going to use this as my inspiration for this. And you want to cut that so that it extends down approximately 3 inches. To iron on the Peltex, you get it centered on your piece, so you have approximately a 1/2 inch all the way around, and then you flip it over and you iron. You do not want to iron from the Peltex side because that will stick to your iron. I am checking to make sure that it is not pressing all the way onto my surface, and it is not. It's going to get that on. Flip it over, and then I like to mark my center front just by getting my Peltex lined up. For the bookmark, I can see where my seam is here that I've pressed. You want to lay the pretty side down, and I'm just using my Wonder Clips to clip that into place. And then for the elastic, I cut a 2-inch piece, folded in half. This gets placed on the back side of your notebook, which is on this side here, and I do about 2 inches down. Just kind of figuring out where the 2-inch mark is. And then I also will pin this into place. So the fold side is towards the middle of the book, and pin that into place. I'm going to go to my sewing machine now, and I'm going to sew those on just to get them in place before I start my design. I don't go through the Peltex. I'm going to sew that right next to the Peltex and just go back and forth a couple times just to make sure that's secured. After these are sewn into place, I just pin this bookmark up just so it kind of keeps it out of the way. Now on to the design, and this is just your, you know, what you want to do. I just love playing with this fabric collage type things. This says Whimsey Girls up here, and I'm going to keep that on there, and I'm going to be outlining that. But I think I'm just going to do Whimsy Girl, and so I'm going to cover up that S. I also have this whimsical little bird here that I want to stick on there somewhere. I'm going to speed this part of the video up and just do a voiceover. So much of this fabric collage is just trial and error and laying things on and taking things off. I have this tulle flower trim that I've had in my stash for a long time, and I'm going to add some of that as her little blouse, and then also put a piece in her hair. Still trying to figure out where I want to put this little bird, and decided to turn that one corner down, and I'll tack that down and place the bird up on top. I'm at my sewing machine now, and I have my feed dogs dropped, and I have my free motion foot on, and I'm just outlining my pieces. I'm not going to be doing any stitching on the little girl itself, but just going to be outlining the different patches of fabric. When I get to this trim piece too, I'm just going to carefully get it underneath my presser foot, and then just tack that onto place. When you do free motion, you can go forwards and backwards and sideways, and it's really easy to do this patchwork designs. Now doing this piece of yellow strip. Onto the painting, and I have inexpensive acrylic craft paints here. I like to start with a darker flesh color and just do my shadows, putting the shadows underneath the hairline. I also do it around the eyes and on the side of the nose and a little bit under the chin. Then I'll go in with my lighter colored paint or flesh colored paint, and I'll go right over the top of that dark shadow and then extend it down a ways as well. I do not completely cover the face with paint. Just a suggestion of the color. Now I'm adding some pink to the cheeks. And a darker pink for a little lip color. And here's a close-up of that. When I add the color of the irises, I paint the entire iris with the color. I'm using a blue here, and then I'll go back in and add a black for the pupils in ink or pen later. The hair is really easy. I just keep it simple. I'm using a flat brush, and I don't put very much paint on it. And I also, the brush is dry, and I just dry brush it on. And I like using a couple, 3 different colors just to add some interest and leave some areas without any paint at all. Putting a little bit of the darker paint underneath. I'm using a Uniball pen by Pilot for the outlining. This pen glides really nicely over acrylic paint, and I really enjoy using it for this type of a application. Starting with the words Whimsey Girl. And now if you don't want to put Whimsey Girl on here, I'll show you another example of this one that I've done and just put a butterfly in her hair. So that's another option on these little doll faces. Again, just outlining. And here's a close-up of the eyes. I just outlined the eyelashes and eyebrows with that black, and then just put a little white paint for the sparkle in her eye. And she is complete. Now on to finishing the little notebook. For the pocket, I cut that long piece in half and then fold it. Fold it and put the fold edge towards the center. Then sandwich the lining on top, just marking the opening. You want this opening to be about 7 inches across the bottom.
it's just easier to turn this heavy Peltex with a larger opening. Putting my clips on just to keep everything together, and I will be stitching all the way around this right next to the Peltex. I'm not stitching on top of the Peltex, but right next to it. And I do use a smaller stitch, and I also back stitch on the opening. Once it's stitched, I just trim my edges. I do not trim the opening. I am just trimming the rest of the edges to about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And here you can see the trimmed piece where I've left that seam allowance at the opening. Just getting my fingers in there and turning this. And it may lift a little bit, the Peltex, but you can iron that back down. And using a little pokey tool to get all the corners. And then doing a press and pressing that seam allowance over that opening. And now top stitching all the way around, and that completes the little notebook cover. The notebook just slips so easily inside. Just one final press. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be leaving some pictures of some of the other books that I've made, and all of these are in my Etsy store. But you can see I've done a lot of the patchwork designs where I didn't use the little girl pattern. They all turned out really fun and really cute. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye for now.